The champagne was flowing. Our closest friends and family filled the beautiful ballroom I had rented. My husband, Tom, was across the room laughing. He thought this was his surprise 20th anniversary party. He was right. The surprise was just for him. He occasionally shot a secret smile at Jessica, my friend from the gym, who stood in the corner. He thought I didn't see. He thought I was the naive, trusting wife he had married 2 decades ago. I picked up a champagne flute and stepped onto the small stage. The room went quiet. I looked at my husband. To Tom, I began, my voice steady. To my loving husband of 20 years. To celebrate all the late nights and long business trips he endured for our family, I've prepared a little home movie. I smiled and nodded to the technician. Tom's face beamed. He had no idea what was about to play on that giant screen behind me. For 20 years, I was the perfect wife. I raised our 2 children. I hosted his business dinners. I put my own career on hold so his could flourish. Our life looked perfect from the outside, a big house, happy kids, a loving marriage. It was all a beautiful, carefully constructed lie. The cracks started to show 6 months ago. The late nights at their office. The sudden, urgent business trips over weekends. The way he guarded his phone like it contained state secrets. I hired a private investigator. It felt like a betrayal of my own heart, but I had to know the truth. The report landed on my kitchen table a week later. It was worse than I ever imagined. The photos were clear. Tom, kissing Jessica, my supposed friend, in a hotel lobby. Tom, buying her expensive jewelry at a store he told me was too expensive for us. The business trips were romantic getaways to Paris and Rome. I didn't confront him. What was the point? He would lie. He would deny it. He would make me feel crazy. I had seen him do it to other people. Instead, I cried for 3 days. I mourned the death of the man I thought I knew. I mourned the 20 years I had dedicated to a sham. Then, on the 4th day, my grief turned into something else. It turned into cold, hard resolve. He wasn't just going to leave me. He was going to pay for every lie, every secret, and every stolen moment. Our 20th anniversary was coming up. He had completely forgotten about it. It was the perfect opportunity. I started planning. I told him I was organizing a surprise party for him, a celebration of his success. He loved the idea. He had no clue he was helping me plan his own public execution. The night of the party, Tom was in his element. He walked around the ballroom, accepting handshakes and pats on the back. He looked like the king of a castle he didn't know was about to crumble. He came over to me, a glass of champagne in his hand. "You outdid yourself, honey," he said, kissing my cheek. His breath smelled of expensive alcohol and lies. "This is perfect. Everyone who matters is here." "Only the best for you, my love," I replied, my voice smooth as silk. My heart was pounding like a war drum, but my smile never faltered. He looked over my shoulder and saw Jessica talking to some friends. He gave her a subtle, almost imperceptible nod. A secret shared in plain sight. He thought it was a sign of his cleverness. To me, it was just another piece of evidence. A few minutes before I went on stage, he pulled me aside. "Listen," he whispered, a serious look on his face. "I need to go on another business trip next week. To Zurich. It's last minute, but it's important." I knew from the investigator's report that Zurich was code for a 5-star spa resort he had booked with Jessica. I looked into his eyes, feigning concern. "Oh, darling. Of course. You work so hard for us." I straightened his tie. "Just be safe." He kissed me again. "You're the best wife a man could ask for," he said. That was the final lie. The last nail in his coffin. I watched him walk back into the crowd, laughing with his friends. He was so confident. So smug. So completely oblivious. He thought this was the best night of his life. He had no idea it was the last night of the life he knew. I walked onto the stage. The soft spotlight found me. I tapped the microphone. "Hello everyone," I said, my voice ringing out clearly. "Thank you all for coming to celebrate 20 years of my marriage to Tom." The crowd applauded. Tom stood near the front, smiling proudly, raising his glass to me. He looked like a man who thought he was about to be worshipped. Tom has always been a man of action, I continued, choosing my words carefully. He works so hard. So many late nights. So many trips. I often feel like I don't get to see what he's really up to. A few people chuckled politely. Tom's smile widened. So, for our anniversary, I wanted to put together a little slideshow. A home movie, if you will. A tribute to my husband's dedication. Please, direct your attention to the screen. I nodded to the technician in the back of the room, who I had hired specifically for this. The lights dimmed. The giant screen behind me flickered to life. But it wasn't pictures of our kids. It wasn't a montage of our vacations. The first image was a high-resolution photo of Tom kissing Jessica in the lobby of the Ritz-Carlton in Paris. The date stamp was clearly visible, our last anniversary. A collective gasp went through the room. Tom's smile froze on his face. He stared at the screen, his face turning from tan to a sickly white. The slideshow continued. A photo of him buying a diamond necklace for Jessica. A receipt for a bracelet from Tiffany's. Then, the video clips started. Grainy footage from the private investigator. Tom and Jessica, holding hands, walking into a hotel. Them, laughing on a beach in Maui during one of his business trips. The final clip was audio only, played over a black screen. It was a recording from a bug the investigator had placed. Jessica's voice, does she suspect anything? Tom's voice, no. She's too trusting. Too naive. Don't worry, baby. After I secure the new promotion, I'll leave her. We'll be together. The audio ended. The screen went black. The only sound in the enormous ballroom was the ringing in my husband's ears. The room was filled with applause. Everyone thought my home movie was a sweet, sentimental gesture. Tom was beaming, basking in the attention. Jessica was smiling from the corner, looking proud. The giant screen flickered to life. But it wasn't old family photos. It was a high-resolution image of a hotel receipt. From the Ritz-Carlton in Paris. For a Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Dated 3 months ago. The room murmured in confusion. Tom's smile faltered. The screen changed. A photo of Tom, kissing Jessica passionately in front of the Eiffel Tower. A collective gasp went through the room. Another photo, Tom, placing a diamond necklace around Jessica's neck in a jewelry store. The same necklace she was wearing right now. Another, them, laughing on a beach in Rome. My voice cut through the silence, amplified by the microphone. This is a tribute, I said, my voice cold and clear, to all the late nights and business trips my husband took. The trips I apparently paid for. Tom was frozen, his face a mask of pure terror. He looked at Jessica, who was trying to shrink into the shadows. Their secret was no longer a secret. It was a 40-foot spectacle. Wait! He finally croaked, holding up his hands. This is a misunderstanding. A joke. A joke. I asked. I turned to our 2 children, who were standing near the front, their faces pale. Does this look like a joke to you? I then looked back at Tom. For 20 years, I supported you. I raised our family while you built your career. And you repaid me with this public disgrace. He started walking towards the stage. Sarah, please don't do this. I'm not finished, I said, and the security guards I had hired for the event stepped forward, blocking his path. I held up a folder. This isn't just a slideshow, Tom. This is a divorce filing. And because you have violated the fidelity clause in our prenuptial agreement, you are entitled to exactly 0% of my assets. The house, the cars, the savings. They are all in my name. Because while you were taking business trips, I was taking business classes. I dropped the folder on the stage. So happy anniversary, darling, I said, looking him dead in the eye. I hope she was worth it. The security guards escorted a stunned Tom out of the ballroom. Jessica had already slipped out a side door, leaving him to face the fallout alone. The party ended abruptly, but the story was just beginning. It became the talk of the town. Tom tried to fight the prenup, but the evidence was undeniable. The judge laughed him out of court. He was left with nothing but his personal savings, which were quickly drained by legal fees and his expensive taste. Jessica dumped him a week later. She didn't want a man who was publicly disgraced and, more importantly, broke. Last I heard, Tom was living in a small, rented apartment, trying to rebuild a career that no one wanted to touch. As for me, the divorce was a liberation. I sold the big house that was filled with bad memories and bought a smaller, brighter one for me and the kids. I used the money I saved to finally start the interior design business I had put on hold for 20 years. It's thriving. Sometimes, I think about that night. Not with anger, but with a sense of peace. I didn't destroy a marriage, I just exposed a lie that had been festering for years. I didn't lose a husband. I reclaimed my life. And that was the best anniversary gift I could have ever given myself.